Hey everybody, I'm out here camping at the river like I usually do, and I'm here with some friends. And he's driving a Jeep Wrangler, and I'm driving a Delica, and I want to compare these two cars camping-wise. They are very different cars and very different styles of campers, but they both kind of fulfill the same purpose. In this comparison, it's not so much about the Jeep Wrangler compared to a Delica, but more a short wheelbase off-roader like the Wrangler, Land Rover Defender 110, a Jimny, a Vitara. We're having a van camper like a Delica, a T4, T6, a Hiace, or a Verica. So it's more like those style cars compared to a short wheelbase off-roader. So the immediate advantage of a short wheelbase off-roader compared to a van like mine is that you can get much farther out into nature. Regardless of any modifications or the model of car that you have, simply just having a tiny car with a good approach and departure breakover angles, you can just get deeper into nature. You can go further off-road than you would. With a van like this, because it's longer, the front and the back extends further away from the wheel, even though the wheelbases between these two cars are sort of similar, simply because of the size of the car, it limits the amount of places that you can go. But still, I managed to get out here and we have a great time. So, you know, I have to think a little bit about how much and how hardcore the off-roading you really want to do is. Also, how much money you want to put into that, because, you know, building out a camper is one car, building out the off-road capabilities is completely different. So I'll cover three topics in this video. First, I want to cover the awning. As you can see, my awning is just a straight awning that comes out, and his awning is a wraparound too. Also, we'll talk about sleeping inside versus sleeping on the roof. If you have a van, you got a lot of real estate inside, you can still have all of your stuff and sleep inside. Whereas if you have a short wheelbase off-roader like this, you can either carry no gear and sleep inside, or you can carry a lot of gear and then either you're in a tent outside or a tent on the roof. The third difference we'll talk about is the rear of the car, where most people have their kitchens, because on the short wheelbase off-roaders, the door opens up from the side, whereas on the camper vans, the door opens up from the back and opens straight up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, leave it a like and comment, share your ideas, and let's get into these two cars. This is a 270-degree awning, and the reason that you'd have this is because the car is shorter. If you had a straight awning on a short wheelbase off-roader, it just wouldn't extend very far and you wouldn't have much space under it. But with a 270-degree, it goes all the way around, it sticks off much more to the side and towards the back, so actually you get quite a lot of real estate under here. In addition to that, one advantage of a 270-degree awning is that when the sun comes up, you can kind of just move your chairs to the other side. You can see in this situation, the sun is coming from there. So under my awning, there's a good bit under the awning that's not out of the sun. And also on his awning, there's a good bit that's not out of the sun. But back here, it's all covered under the sun. This is only possible on the cars where the door opens from the side like this. On generally the vans like the Delica, T4, all those, the door opens from the back and it goes straight up. So in essence, it kind of fulfills a little bit of this function, because the door opening up would protect you from the rain and the sun if you're gonna have your kitchen back there. Whereas with this, you have the awning that goes around, and that sort of fulfills the same function. So some of the disadvantages of an awning like this are you can't control the distance it goes out from the car. It is at a fixed distance with the scissor arms on the awning. Like I have the Fiamma F45. You can have it 1 meter out from the car or 2 meters out from the car, it doesn't matter. And so it really works well in a large variety of campsites. Whereas if you have the awning with non-telescopic arms here, you have to have it at the same distance from the car everywhere. It's going to limit your choice of campsites a little bit. Another thing is, with the increased real estate and the increased sort of shape of this awning, it means that it's going to be much more difficult to use your car to block the wind if it's very strong. So you're going to have to pay much more attention to the direction the wind's coming from and much more attention to staking it down. It's just going to be a lot more effort to keep your awning safe, to really prevent the wind from catching it and flying it up. Because it's basically like a sail. You know, we have big sails coming out from the car. The wind can really catch it. And I think it's easier to maintain and protect a straight awning that comes out, like the Fiamma I have, than this style of awning. And awnings are important much more than just for the sun and the rain. Actually, when we're camping at night, I like to use the awning because it prevents the lights from going up and outward, and that makes it much nicer for the insects. Much fewer insects come if you have an awning going over, and also especially this time of year and leading into the winter, when you have a dew point here in Taiwan, if you have an awning, the water's gonna be covering everything else outside. Anything you leave under the awning won't be wet from the dew. The next difference between vans and short wheelbase off-roaders I'd like to get to is the rear door. And that makes a big difference because typically that's where your kitchen will be. That's where a lot of your storage is and a main way of getting stuff in and out of the car. The first obvious one is that if you open it from the back like this, like mine does, and it covers your head, immediately you're out of the rain, so you don't have to think about anything like that. However, if you open it from the side like this does, well, you immediately get kind of a nice platform here. It doesn't require as much work to have your pull-out kitchen, things like that, where you already have a sturdy, strong surface here, which you can use to do your cutting or put your gas here. There's benefits to both type of doors. It's more about what suits you, not really endorsing one or the other here. So another advantage of having a door that swings out like this is you already have a built-in platform to store extra weight. Because it's already made to hold a spare tire, it's very strong. You got 40 kilos of water here plus storage space here where you can add more. On my car, to build outdoor storage, I had to really custom fabricate something, which is a lot of work, and the parts, especially since it's not so common in Taiwan. So there were a lot of issues regarding that, and already having a door that swings out is very useful on a car, especially when you're camping and you have all of your trash and things like that. You don't want to carry those things inside, or you do water sports like I do, so you have really sandy, wet stuff. It's nice to put them on the outside of the car. So in addition to having the outside storage here, I think this kind of a door is also useful for like the kitchen and all this stuff.
Are you making a video?
Yeah, man, I'm filming.
I gotta share a product with you, man.
Yeah, you're just plugging it right here.
Yo, man, we gotta show it, right? Like how
what
this
is
is
it?
done. This is basically the green juice.
Green juice. It's gonna give me a 6-pack.
This is what you get after you drink it.
Yeah, apparently I'm gonna drink one of these and I'm gonna look like him. Let's see if it works.
See how it tastes. Greenergize, whole food-based supplements. Your daily health insurance in a pack. Drink this to get this.
Alright, put a link at the bottom. It's not a UFA, don't tell my agent, but it's pretty good, alright? We have it here. One of the major differences between having a short wheelbase off-roader compared to a van is that the internal storage. So in a van, you're getting much more storage, not just in the length, but also in the height. So the internal height here is much less, and because the length is smaller, it means that one is you're not going to be storing that much stuff inside, and two, also you're not going to be sleeping inside. So in my car, I'm able to basically pack this much stuff in it and then still have enough space in there for me to sleep. However, with a off-roader like this, short wheelbase off-roader, you're going to be sleeping on the roof or in a tent. So let's go check out this tent here. So in this car, my friend is using a soft shell folding tent. So it's kind of cool that it opens up like this and it gives you space to walk under, or you use a ladder, and actually you get a lot of sleeping space in this kind of tent. However, everybody I've talked to, including him, is not happy with just the amount of time it takes to set up this kind of tent. When you go out into the river, or you want to go camping, you don't want to spend that much time just like setting things up and taking them down. The people I know who really like these are the ones with big families, and they basically sleep 4 people on the roof, because you can get these that are really long. But if you're just sleeping 1 or 2 people, I think that a hard shell tent that just opens up like that, or a clamshell, is generally a huge time saver. And in most of the people that I go out camping with tend to prefer those. But again, it's there is a trade-off with that, which is that this gives you just much more real estate. One actually advantage of the rooftop tents is, even though they cost sort of 30 to 60,000, depending on what you're getting, it's still kind of cheaper than building out the inside of your car. It's fast, you just buy a product, stick it on your roof. When you're done with it, you can sell that product used. Whereas if you build out the inside of your camper, you're in your car, there's no way you're getting any of that money back later, and it's gonna take you sort of time and effort to design it and build it. For some of the larger short wheelbase off-roaders like the Wrangler or the 110, it is possible to sleep inside, but then at that point you really won't be able to take much with you at all. So maybe you can pile stuff up on the roof, and then you have kind of completely empty in the inside, including no seats, and then you can sleep in there. For something like a Jimny, which is even shorter, it's, you know, just forget about it. In that case, you know, you bring a tent with you. If you're doing kind of light trips and you're not going to be out for many days and you don't need things like a refrigerator and all that food, then actually it would be possible to just sleep in your car. But at that point, it's not so much of a cozy camping car, but more of you know, can we fit everybody in situation.
I obviously bought a van, so you know what I like. But which do you prefer? Big camper vans or small, nimble off-roaders? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this content and want to help me create more, please hit that subscribe button. It really makes a big difference. You can also support content creation directly through my Patreon or YouTube join.
Yeah, right. He's so full of crap. What the hell, man? I wanted a 6-pack, not a 6-back.